Hello, everybody. My name is Adam Herkey, and this is my Leadership Styles in Law Enforcement final course presentation. So, when I got this assignment, my mind was pretty blown of all the different topics that I could talk of. I went through ideas for court, for sentencing, probation, low morale in law enforcement, low staffing levels in law enforcement, the benefits of community-oriented policing, the lack of support for law enforcement. I just couldn't narrow anything down. But in the end, I thought about what our criminal justice degree is all about, and that's leadership and management. So I wanted to focus on that topic. Of that, I wanted to know what leadership styles were in law enforcement and the effects they have on the employees in law enforcement. Came up with a hypothesis of leaders of police agencies who work in a transactional leadership style in nature do not have the trust and following of police officers within their departments than the leaders who work in a transformational leadership style. So how to research this? This is not a topic that I can do quantitative data for. There's no numbers to say one is better than the other. It's more qualitative. So I needed to get creative on how to get my data. I needed to do research online to find what other people have said about this topic. I wanted to send out a survey to people to find out what other people think on this topic. And I also wanted to interview police officers who work under these different leadership styles. So first, my survey, I wanted to do some demographic questions on who is taking my survey. So, male or female, 53% female, about 50-50. It was, I think 13 people took my survey, so that's why it's not an even number. Age range, I think there's a wide variety of age range of who took my survey, which is very good. People working in criminal justice field, 53 are not, which I think is okay. So about 50% work in some function of the criminal justice field and 50 don't, which I think gives me a wide variety of answers and it's not a biased survey. So what are my questions? The first one, police officers' work ethic will change depending on the leadership style they're supervised for. 61% agreed that they would, that the work ethic would change. I don't like this. I think if you have a work ethic, you should keep your work ethic no matter what your leader says or does. But I do agree, unfortunately, that it will change. If a police officer's work ethic is altered due to a frontline supervisor and public safety is in jeopardy, who's to blame? 53% said both the supervisor and the police officer, which I agree. I think it falls on the back of everybody involved. Every level of supervision within a police agency should have the same leadership style. 92% disagree, which means the chief of police doesn't need to have the same leadership style as the sergeant or the frontline supervisor. So I would disagree with this statement as well. Have you or anyone that you've worked with quit a job because of supervisors? 100% of people either have or know someone who did, and I think this is very sad. It shows what kind of quality or lack thereof quality supervisors we have in the world today. As a police officer, would you be more worried about the chief's leadership style or the sergeant? 76% said both, which I think is fair. One deputy that I talked to said he would worry about the chief more because the chief is the one running the department. He's the one approving the policies and procedures, and he can affect the change of the frontline supervisor if they're not doing something they don't like. So it all hinges on what the chief says. Does the general public care of the leadership style in a police department? 60% say yes. I don't know if that number is accurate. Do you think 6 out of 10 people you talk to care about what leadership style the police have, or do they just care that the police are doing their job and what they're supposed to? I think that's a whole nother research that you could go into. In which set of circumstances do you feel better suited for law enforcement? The first group is characteristics of transactional leadership style. The second one is transformational leadership style. And 92% said you need a combination of both. So what is transactional leadership style? It's more known for focusing on rewards and discipline with employees, where the leader sets a goal and rewards or disciplines the employee for following to meet or does meet that goal. A transactional leader is common in political and business arenas, where leaders announce benefit for their agenda in exchange for votes for the political side, and in business, leaders announce rewards in turn for productivity. Interviews with police officer, the picture shown here is Sheriff Stanek of the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. He shows signs as a transactional leader, and when talked to Deputy Cramble, he stated that many of the deputies, including himself, are afraid to do their job in fear of being punished. And the morale and job satisfaction is at an all-time low. Deputy Cramble has been a deputy there for just over 15 years, and said that many of his partners who have 20 years of experience are quitting the department and joining other police agencies with a different leadership style. And I think that says a lot of the department when someone who's been there 20 years is walking away strictly because of the leadership style of the boss. Transformational leadership style, they more try to inspire followers to improve the entire team. Having this will increase personal satisfaction, commitment through the team, and allow everyone to achieve higher goals and ethical standards. Research has revealed that this style of leadership has higher performance and improved group satisfaction than any other leadership style. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of the more famous leaders as a transformational leader. Pictured here is Chief Behan of the Rogers Police Department. He shows more signs as a transformational leader. When talking with Officer Kroll of the Rogers Police Department, she said she works side by side with the chief on the street. The chief will be out taking calls, taking burglary calls, taking traffic accident calls, right alongside with the police officers. She said she's happy with who she works with and works under, and had no complaints, which was a vast difference from Deputy Cramble. So in a conclusion, through my research, my interviews, and my survey, I have concluded that my hypothesis was correct, that the number of happy employees and followers of the employees fall under the transformational leadership style versus the transactional leadership style. The one thing I will note throughout my research on all of these, as stated in a University of San Diego study, ultimately effective leaders are able to quickly and accurately assess the situation and respond with a leadership style that's best suited for the given circumstance, which basically means, as my last survey question says, you need to be able to do both. The best leader is one that can be both transformational and transactional, and not just one or the other. That is all I got. I hope you learned something and can use it in your career as a leader. Thank you.